What did Roman women wear? Roman women loved dressing up, just like women everywhere. Over the centuries, Roman fashion evolved dramatically with new fabrics, patterns, and styles. Emperors tried to curb excessive spending on clothing and jewelry with sumptuary laws, but these measures barely made a dent. Early clothing was made mostly from wool or leather. Later, linen appeared, and with trade from the East, silk made its debut. By late antiquity, Romans had developed ultrafine, semi-transparent fabrics. We know names like visson, sindon, amorgin, and others. Early Republic, when Rome was small and funds were tight, garments were simple and in light colors, perhaps just trimmed with dye. As Rome grew rich, brighter hues became fashionable. One famous example is Coan silk, made from Chinese silk on the island of Kos and dyed a sea green color. The core of a Roman woman's wardrobe was the tunica, a long, plain shirt, either sleeved or sleeveless. This was worn at home. Going out in just a tunica was as scandalous as walking outside in a bathrobe today. Early tunics were simply a folded piece of fabric with a head hole sewn up the sides, then belted tight. Long fabric above the belt was draped nicely. Later, tunics evolved to include proper sleeves and fitted shoulders. Over the tunica, women wore the stola, a full-length dress. If the tunica had sleeves, the stola was sleeveless, like a long jumper. Romans were clever enough to invent arms with closures, modest yet subtly alluring. The stola was belted under the bust, above the waist, and was only worn by free-born Roman women, not slaves or freed women. Stole could be ornate, embroidered with gold thread, patterned with geometric designs like stylized leaves, diamonds, or squares. Seneca criticized wealthy matrons, remarking they shouldn't wear the flashy colors of prostitutes. But clearly, wealthy women ignored his advice, favoring bright hues and vivid embellishments. And prostitutes, they went all out with color and sparkle. Outerwear for Romans began simply, with the toga, a draped woolen garment worn casually. In the Republic, it was unisex, but later became official male attire, heavily regulated in folds and formality. Women's outerwear became the palla, like a modern wrap shawl, long and versatile. There were short, hooded versions and thick woolen ponchos called pennulae. By the time of the early Caesars, tunic stola outfits remained traditional. But in late antiquity, the fashionable dress became the dalmatica, a wide, flaring tunic with broad sleeves. First mentioned in the 4th century AD, the dalmatica became popular in Byzantium for both men and women as ceremonial attire. Women also loved jewelry. Earrings, bracelets, necklaces, sometimes delicate, sometimes bold. In later periods, it became common to wear multiple rings on one finger or several earrings per ear. Snake-themed rings and bracelets were especially popular. Elaborate hair jewelry followed evolving hairstyles, pins, combs, diadems. Although Roman matrons traditionally couldn't dye their hair during the Republic, such rules faded over time. Now, for the intimate layer, Roman women wore undergarments. Beneath the palla, stola, and tunica, or beneath the dalmatica, they wore simple chest and hip bands. Archaeological images show athletic women wearing such bands that resemble modern sports bras or underwear, comfortable and practical. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next episode.